Please welcome to the stage.
It's just a high bar to hit.
All the way from London, Triptease. Big round of applause.
Yay.
I love coming to San Francisco, and when I do, I generally stay at the Clift. Look at this place. Sexy, stylish. I'm excited when I'm on their website. But if I look at reviews, everything changes. Welcome to the ugliest page on the internet, where even great hotels are made to look bad. This is a photo of the Clift. And reviews like this, which have an impact on how I feel, are misspelled and anonymous. Should I really trust them? Travel reviews are a decade out of date. We think it's time for a makeover. At Triptease, we believe great travel deserves great reviews. On our iPad app and on the web, you can browse people's travel experiences brought to life, the best and the worst in vivid Technicolor. Our focus is on relevance and on quality because the web's got more than enough volume already. And when we browse, you can also easily add a comment with a single click of a button, or write something more fully if you like. But importantly, you can get a feel for the reviewer by looking at all the places they've been to in a ranked order. Now, this is great if you want to read reviews. But the real fun is in creating them. So let's do that. Because I should add, for Triptease, what we're really about is helping people create reviews worth sharing. So I've been staying at the Clift, as I said. I believe Britney Spears was there last month before me. We upload a photo that I took, my favorite photo of the trip. I can simply type some review text in. And I think that this theme isn't really working for me, so we'll try a different theme. This is a bit better, it brings the image to life. Add a title. The Redwood Bar, if you've not been, I highly recommend. And we're putting special spelling in for Americans today. And we change the color of the text, or move the image a bit, change the color of the text box, just to make sure it all feels good. And then when it comes to the rating, we can rank the Clift. I'd give it a 9. And as you can see, we tried to make creating a review fun. We've tried to make this a really special experience. And we hit publish, and this is my favorite part. This is where I see my review brought to life. This is our Instagram moment. I feel like a creative genius, and I'm desperate to share my work with the world. Let's quickly look at how the future compares to the past. And now you can see it. You can see why reviews are the least shared user-generated content online. The least shared user-generated content online. That's pretty incredible if you stop to think about it. On Facebook, travel stories abound. People share travel to timeline more than any other type of content. But when it comes to reviews, nobody emails them to their friend. No one tweets them to the world. People want to share travel, but yesterday's reviews were not worth sharing. And that's the gap that Triptease fills. We're tapping into a strong emotional desire. The desire to carefully curate a social feed that brings out the best in your life. Because that's exactly what we help people do. We help them look great. And all this sharing is important because it's an antidote to anonymity. It allows us to build a vibrant community so that you can find and follow people who are relevant. Stop. This sounds good. The design's beautiful, but I heard Robert in the last Q&A. There's an elephant in this room. To tackle the incumbents, we're going to need some pretty impressive distribution. Well, when I started on this journey, I was focused on the consumer pain. But I quickly realized that whatever suffering I felt, hotels have it 10 times worse. Hotels hate anonymous text reviews. They're desperate for a change. And they also really struggle with getting value from social media. And for those two reasons, they're extremely excited about Triptease. And from today, they'll be putting us in their post-stay emails and sharing links to Triptease and encouraging guests to create reviews. So this is an example from the uber-cool Hoxton Hotel in London, who are now sending out emails to guests after they've stayed. And will also be shared on websites and face-to-face. We give them great content for their social channels, and they bring us huge distribution. For a decade, travel reviews have barely changed. From today, they need never be the same again. Thanks.
Okay. Robert, tell us how much you hate it.
He hit another sleep word of mine, which is social network, which is crazy.
Come on, bring it.
Bring it, Robert.
I'm sort of intrigued with this one because it looks like a media site, looks really beautiful. And that has my mind going, okay, maybe there's something here for hotels. I've tried Triptease, and it just didn't hit me. You didn't show me a mobile app, and when I'm in a travel mode, I'm always with my mobile phone and maybe my tablet. I have my tablet in front of me,
Yeah.
right?
Wasn't that the tablet app, or is it?
Yeah, it's an iPad app. It's made for iPad.
Yeah,
That
it
was
looked
the
like-
iPad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've gone, sorry.
But anyway, I would have pitched it on mobile phone that I'm going to do these reviews on the go, because that's where I'm doing the food spotting and the reviewing. But I'll
What
give
did
you
you
the
feed
mobile.
this guy today? I mean, is it the beer that he's drinking?
I
that's
just brought
causing
it.
this?
He got a beer. The waiter brought him a beer.
He's normally
Anyway.
such a nice guy. He's a puppy. I mean,
Let's
Okay,
get to
who
a
else?
let me get
Back
to
to
a
the-
question.
Yeah.
Isn't there
How are you going to get distribution, get into the Google so that people, is it all going to be through the hotels?
Okay,
that
so-
was one point.
Well, I mean, I think there are probably three things. The first is that we built a product that's inherently social. The reason you use it is because you want to share, so there's a viral element. The second is that, I mean, it has amazed us. In 30 days of speaking to hotels, 30 have signed up to be distribution partners. And that was before we launched. So we know there's a huge desire to help us distribute. And then the third one is image search. There's no way we're going to take on TripAdvisor in year 1 or 2 on the front page of Google. But 8% of Google searches are image searches, and I think that's exactly where we can compete.
And this is where I was intrigued, because when you do a search on Google for hotel, New York, whatever, the pictures on the hotel site suck, the site sucks, the information on the site sucks, and you guys could make that site much more beautiful. This is really beautiful stuff. I can see why hotels are a little excited by this, because, oh, I can actually sell to an iPad customer and get them to come to my hotel.
Yeah.
I think you might be one of those that pivots towards that market and fills that market a little bit better than just going after guys like me who go traveling a lot and you want me to...
Some other judges, yeah.
Yeah.
Some other feedback. Yeah.
Isn't there like a natural...
Thank you, though, thank you.
Isn't there like
And we'll get him a shot on the side.
selection
Killer
bias
chaser.
towards good pictures? I mean, one of the things I like about TripAdvisor, you know, to type any hotel that comes up as a Google suggest as well, is it's honest, right? You go through it and I mean, obviously you see these pictures, but it generally is pretty honest. And here, wouldn't there be a natural selection bias? There's all really nice pictures because your tool is helping people make everything look beautiful versus sometimes you want to see the reality.
Yeah, somebody going to write a bad review.
Oh yeah,
on
you
your
can absolutely
service?
write bad reviews, and you can upload bad photos. We spent a long time building a platform so that even when you put a bad photo in, the page still looks good. It's like reading reviews, a bad review on the Wall Street Journal. The layout still looks good, the image still looks good, you still get the power from it. But we're unashamedly going after the high-end market. We're not interested in all of travel, we're interested in the best. So I agree, there is a bias inherent to that as well.
you know, I tell you, I really liked it, and especially being able to look at the reviewers and see what else they reviewed that easily. Because most of the time, they're paid reviewers. I mean, we know it's a scam. That's what happens on TripAdvisor and Yelp and so on.
Not for me to say, but...
Yeah, I know. But everyone knows it's a scam most of the time.
Oh, I don't
so
think
here, you can cut through a lot of that.
All right.
So,
Merchants do it all the time. I mean, maybe you're on the board of one of these companies, but you can buy reviews on many of these sites. Just go on any...
I mean, there are PR firms that specialize in writing.
well, that's not going to be any different about this company. If they're half successful and they act like
If
the
you
rest
start
of
ranking
industry, they'll do
the
same thing.
reviewers
I think the
using
difference
social
is,
media.
Yeah, so
No
actually we have a
anonymity.
real name policy, so a bit like Quora.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah.
trying to force people to be their real themselves. And also we mark reviews. So if a hotel drives a review, we know that, and we put a little stamp saying, you know, certified.
Right.
Real quickly, Jason, I know you like some travel companies. Robert's tweeted about Room 77 being his favorite hotel search app. So I look at this having spent a lot of time thinking about hotels over the years. And really what comes across to me, first, elegant design, smart thinking about it. You're right, no innovation in 10 years, still 10 blue links. TripAdvisor feels old, but it's a utility and it works. So when I think about you know, the hurdle you guys face here, it seems like there is an interesting opportunity to build a profitable, though smaller company that is really servicing the hotel industry to give them an opportunity. It's really a software platform so they can compete effectively with TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
I think the bar to getting consumers, because the other side of this was, hey, I want all you guys to use this as a platform to share reviews with all your friends. That's a much higher bar. And I'm not sure whether I saw that hurdle crossed, but the one with respect to hotels, giving them basically a hosted application that they can rent from you and use to really propagate the world with reviews that are much more akin to their brand, I think that's an interesting business.
Yeah, it's definitively an easy fallback pivot for us. There's no question there's a market there. But I've started 3 successful businesses, employed hundreds of people. This is my billion-dollar opportunity. And that's not coming in the B2B opportunity. That comes in the B2C. It comes from by making reviews social, that can drive the volume and that can help us disrupt the market. That's our plan.
Well, one thing you should think about it, if you go back and analyze TripAdvisor, you would see that Steve Koffer at that time, which was probably 03, 04, 05, was maybe one of the best guys on the internet at exploiting Google, and he really figured it out. So you need to heavy up on whatever your distribution path is going to be, whether it's a social network or whatever it might be, where you're going to have to be best on the web in that category in order to compete, or you'll be relegated to being pretty tiny.
Yeah.
What were the businesses that you started?
Oh, so a research consultancy, recruitment firm, and then the last 6 years, started one of the top social media consultancies in Europe.
All right, there you go. So you've got a lot of experience in this social thing.
Yeah, fair bit.
Yeah.
Boom, funded.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so let me ask you one question about the reviewers. Is there, or have you thought about ways to incentivize people, obviously paid reviewers who are editorial, like Travel and Leisure magazine, like you feel like you can trust them to a certain extent. Maybe there might be a little graft going on with ad buys. Is there a new class of reviewers, like super reviewers, who you could incentivize in some way that wouldn't break their objectivity? For example, if Robert is a world traveler and he makes 10 trips outside the United States and 20 trips a year, if he made beautiful reviews that were honest, because he cares about his name being on them, but he got some kind of CPM for how many times it's viewed or something like that. Have you thought about some incentive system for super reviewers to actually make this part of their living?
It's already happening. So we, at the moment, reviews are just consumer on the web. We've got industry experts. So it might be the general manager from the W Hotel around the corner, where he goes, I'm really interested. I want to know. So we would allow him to create reviews, and they all link straight back to his site for bookings. Equally, travel bloggers are creating lots of reviews, and they link back to their blogs.
That's where I was intrigued by you, because media companies make a crapload of it. How much did you make with Engadget, right?
A lot.
A lot. And if you aim this at building really authoritative, credible, authentic reviews that are done by people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who does, I want to read what he says about Napa, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to read what Robert Scoble says about Napa.
But, Motel 8,
but
Napa?
if you build a magazine format out of this, there's something here, I think.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, for example, Jason has great taste in cars. We know that for a fact.
Yes.
Right?
Right. I should write car reviews. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Hey, this is taking way too much time. Thank you, Triptease.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.